Ah! Oh! Oh! Once upon a time, here in the town of Hamelin, in Germany, there was a plague of rats. The rats were everywhere. The dogs of the town would bark at them, and the people had to be careful where they trod. The rats would fight with the dogs and bite until the dogs became frightened of them. The rats would bite the cats, and the cats would meow and fall dead on the ground. They would crawl over the bed in their cribs, and the mothers would clap, the noise sending the rats scurrying a while, but then they'd come back again. One man's hat appeared to move by itself. Gave him an awful shock when he put his hat on and had to brush around his neck. The gnawing sound of the rats was almost too much to bear. More and more rats appeared, day after day, week after week. And the problem became worse until after some months there were rats everywhere. The people were by now so frustrated by the sound of the rats gnawing that they decided to take action and confront the mayor. In ones and twos they came together until a crowd campaigned, marching towards the mayor. The mayor was confronted by the jeering, shouting crowd, shouting of their problem with the rats, and requested calm, declaring that the townspeople would be having a meeting the following day to discuss that very issue. After the meeting, a proclamation was sent out offering 1,000 guilders to anyone who could rid the town of the rats. As the mayor sat down at a sumptuous feast, he felt his chamber doors bang open, and a man dressed very strangely walked towards him. The mayor beckoned his servant and inquired as to who this person may be, and then walked around to meet him, looking down in disbelief attire and inquiring his name. "I'm the Pied Piper," was his reply. "I've heard you have a problem of rats. I could charm them." The mayor was doubtful. "I could free your town of all rats, but how much would you pay me?" At this I was delighted, and promised not one, but 50,000 guilders. "And for that I could rid this town of all rats," declared the Pied Piper. "Please go ahead," said the mayor. And with this the Pied Piper then turned and swung his hook and walked down the steps of the members and into the town. The townsfolk were gathered, but sniggered and chuckled as the Pied Piper raised his instrument to his lips and began to play. Before he had played for long, there was a rumbling, and began pouring out of all of the town's houses and buildings. They began to follow the Pied Piper until a long column of rats moving in rhythm were led by the piper to the river, where they plunged and died. The Pied Piper continued playing until all but one of the rats had drowned. A solitary rat was left on the bank until all of the river Pied Piper in. Now all of the rats were dead, and the Pied Piper put away his instrument. He walked back through the streets to see the mayor. The townspeople watched the Pied Piper in amazement as he strode up the step to the mayor's chambers. As he swung open the doors and approached them, he explained that there was now not one rat in the town, and he invited the mayor to come and witness this for himself. As the mayor looked out onto the town streets, he saw there were now no rats to be seen. The Pied Piper asked for his payment. The mayor then gave 50 guilders. The Pied Piper was very angry and explained, "You promised 50,000 guilders." Thinking they were now safe, the greedy mayor refused to pay any more and turned away. The Pied Piper then gave a warning that having been promised, but then fooled, he could play a different tune, and he began to play. Before he had played long, there was a stirring. This music was tempting the sleeping children from their beds, its rhythm encouraging them to dance into the streets. They gathered around the Pied Piper. who asked if they wanted to sit and chat or to dance rhythm. And it was this that excited the children. And as he began to play, the children began to clap and dance. The children danced and clapped as they followed the Pied Piper out of the town and through the countryside. They clapped and sung over hill and vale. They danced merrily through the towns and through the farms. The animals gazed on in amazement and moved their heads in rhythm to Pied Piper's music as the children danced on and on and on and away. After some time, they arrived at a large hillside, and the Pied Piper opened a large door that appeared within it. He then led the children into the hillside. They were amazed to see all of the different things within it. When all of the children in and the door began to close, the children realized that in the distance they could see a tiny figure. It was a little boy, and although he ran, the door closed tight shut. The boy gasped for breath as he reached the door and banged on it as all of his friends were inside. He took out his hearing aid from his ear and threw it to the ground in anger, realizing that he had not heard the Pied Piper's music because the battery in his hearing aid was flat. As he turned back to the town, a tear trickled down his cheek. From that day on, no other children were ever seen in the town of Hamelin again.